Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another episode of The Walk Around. Grab some popcorn, get some drinks, and enjoy the show. Alrighty, what's up guys, and welcome back to, I'm not sure if it's episode 7 or 8, we're gonna have to recap and make sure. But yeah, nonetheless guys, welcome back to yet another episode of The Walk Around. As I'm sure most of you guys know, we are in season 2. I almost said episode 2. We are in season 2. Obviously, if you guys haven't seen season 1, go over there, just have a look at some of the awesome bikes that we have, guys. We get some really awesome stuff in here. I mean, just this season alone, there's been so much diversity. We've had LT50s, we've had LT250s, we've had CBR 1000, we've had Nitro Circus bikes. So yeah, just go and check out the previous season if you haven't. Yeah, there's some awesome bikes there, and yeah, we've got some awesome bikes coming up even still. So yeah guys, this is it's our first big boy of the series, or of any season actually. This is going to be our first big boy ever. So yeah, I don't think this thing's gonna last long at all. I think this thing's gonna sell extremely quickly. But yeah, nonetheless, it's an awesome little bike. Just from a brief look at it, guys, I don't think we're gonna have anything to talk about when it comes to damage or accessories for that matter. So yeah, we're just gonna give you guys a real good look at this thing. Talk about it a little bit. I did have a friend who had one of these, so yeah, unfortunately I can't speak too much in terms of performance. But yeah, I'll give you guys a little bit of info here and there where I can. And yeah, nonetheless guys, we're still gonna make it a little episode. We'll have a look at features, and then any sort of damage, we'll have a look at that, and then we'll give you guys a nice little startup, and we'll wrap things up there. So yeah guys, as you can see, nice little super light big boy 200 4-stroke. Unfortunately guys, this has literally just come in, so yeah, unfortunately, as I said, we won't be able to give you guys a year or a price or anything like that. I might be able to give you the year model. No, unfortunately not. So yeah, you guys will see on AutoTrader or on our website, you'll be able to get that information. If the keys are here, I can give you the mileage. Okay, now I'm gonna have to get the keys. So once I start it up for you guys to give you that startup, I'll also be able to give you the mileage. But yeah, unfortunately, as I said, we don't have that info right now. But most of the time, these videos, if you're watching this, you've most likely either come from the website or AutoTrader, which you already have the price, or in some cases, one of our salesmen would have sent you this video. And again, in that case, you would already have that sort of information. So yeah, guys, in general, this is like kind of like the border between delivery bike and daily. Because obviously there are a lot of these bikes out there that are being used for deliveries. But I've seen actually about 5 or 6 guys riding them and using them as dailies, and it makes sense. Such a good motor, very reliable. I mean, parts availability is through the roof. Very similar engine. With these, you know, you get your Bigboy 250s, your Bigboy 200s, very similar engines, so parts are through the roof on these things. Servicing is so easy. We can do it for you here in-house, as well as all sorts of other brands. And yeah guys, just a very solid bike to have, to own in South Africa. And yeah, very fuel friendly, should I say. Nowadays that's a big selling point, because fuel prices are through the roof. I mean, they've just gone up again recently, but yeah, nonetheless guys, whether you want to use it for a delivery bike or whether you want to buy it and use it as a daily, I mean, yeah, you can do whatever you want. And what I can say guys, as I said, I did have a friend who actually used one of these as a daily. Yes, it's a 200. However guys, these things are rather peppy, eh? You know, he actually was in part of our riding group, and at that point we had a whole bunch of 300s and 400s and 600s, and even on those group rides he was able to keep up with us. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the rider. But yeah, as I said, he was able to keep up with us just fine. He didn't have any issues with it in terms of power, and it was actually the bike in the group that was arguably the most reliable. So yeah, I think that's all that needs to be said about that. And no guys, it's just a very simple bike. You know, there's nothing too crazy going on. We've got a few features here and there which I'll touch on briefly, We do also have a center stand, as well as the side stand. And yeah, guys, it's dripping there. It just came from wash bay. So yeah, guys, with that being said, we'll take a look at some of the features. As I said, not necessarily modifications, but yeah, I'll just touch on a few things here and there. First thing being this little thing at the back here. So this is going to be absolutely perfect if you want to mount a top box on. You'll see you've got your 2 mounting points over here. So your top box is going to basically use these as the mounting points. Your rails will go up there and your whole box will sit there nicely. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, your box will be up there, and then these are going to be your 2 mounting points to keep everything there nice and steady. And you can actually also just use this if you want to put a box or something there. You can use some nice bungee cord or something like that. Just use it sort of as like a mounting rail. Obviously you've got your passenger foot pegs there, as well as your center stand. So if you want to do any maintenance or anything like that, that center stand is going to come in handy. Oil levels, checking your tires, changing your tires, chain maintenance, all sorts of stuff. So super nice that we've got the rest or the center stand built in there. We've got a stock exhaust. Obviously you guys will see there that we've got the kickstart as well as an electric start up there on the right. So yeah, if your battery's pop or whatever the case is, you can just use the kickstart, which in my opinion is super nice to have. It's just an awesome little fail safe. Nowadays a lot of these bikes actually come with the little USB ports. However, I'm not seeing one on here, and that's more so I'm speaking about like so that you can charge your phone. Yeah, no, the manufacturers have definitely caught on to the fact that these things are being used as delivery bikes and they're adjusting, and that's why a lot of like the Hero Eco 150s, they've also got the USB port so you can actually charge your phone while you're riding. But yeah, I see that this one doesn't actually have one. Nonetheless, if you want to hook one up, it's very simple to do something like that. It's also something, once again, that our service center can help you out with. Yeah, guys, other than that, I'm not seeing anything really worth mentioning. We do have some little bar ends here, so if the bike is dropped, it's going to protect those levers and the mirrors. Obviously, you've got your indicators, you've got your dash. Guys, I don't think there's really anything else for me to touch on necessarily. As you can see up here, there's your dash. Pretty snazzy. I don't know why they went with the blue, but hey, you know what? Looks pretty good. And I think there's actually a little bit of a, oh yeah, it is. So then here's your neutral and your indicators and stuff. You guys will be able to see that once I've turned it on. I do see it's got a very wide tank, so you can probably put a lot of fuel in there, and it's probably going to last you a long time. So yeah, guys, with that out of the way, you know, I don't want to kind of mention things like the fact that it has indicators. You guys can see that I'm a little bit lost for words here, but yeah, let's have a look at a little bit of the damage, or if there is any damage, and then following that we'll give you guys a nice little startup, and yeah, we'll wrap things up there. So you will see on the exhaust there, we've got a few scratches and stuff. Unfortunately, that is kind of unavoidable. I think it is I think it's this guy dragged peg. I think this guy leaned the bike so much that this foot peg actually ended up dragging on the floor, because I'm not seeing enough scuffing to the point where I'm like, okay, this thing's been dropped, but it's definitely made contact with the road there. Yeah, guys, I think whoever was riding this was trying to get a little bit of a Rossi Marquez there for the boys, and yeah, I ended up dragging pigs. So don't worry, I don't think it's been dropped. Based off of that, I think, yeah, as I said, he just leaned the bike over a little bit too much and ended up making contact with the road there. Thing is clean. I'm really not seeing anything. Same thing under here, there's a little bit of scuffing. So yeah, I think whoever was riding this previously was a little bit of a sender. I do see that it is carbureted. I'm not sure if you guys can see. There we go. There's your fuel tap over there, so you got your carburetor. And guys, just as a rule of thumb, if you're not riding your bike, keep the fuel off. If you are riding your bike, keep your fuel on, obviously. Yeah, guys, there's no sort of scuffing on the engine casing or anything like that. Fork seals are good. Yeah, no, this thing is clean. Chain and sprockets are looking good. Tires are looking good. They actually look like fresh tires. I need to get the key so I can see the mileage. No, I'm really not seeing anything else here, guys. It's a very clean, well-maintained bike. I don't think it was used for deliveries. I think this was used as a little daily commuter, just based off of the condition. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna grab the keys and give you guys a little starter. Hey, how's it going, brother?
Alright, man. How you
Good,
doing,
good.
bro?
Hello, hello.
Hey, yebo.
These are the keys for the Superlight. Alrighty, guys, managed to get the keys. So let's give this thing a little start up for you guys. Prepare your ears. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Oh, there you go. That's super cool, actually. So you got your... there we go. That explains everything, boys. It's only got 2,500 kilometers on the clock. Super, super, super low mileage, I must say. This thing is basically new. Well, you know, well, in comparison to a normal used bike, I'd say normal used mileage is about 20 to 30,000. But I mean, 2,500 Ks, that's next to nothing, guys. And then you got your neutral light there, indicators, boop, 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 boop. And then, yeah, fuel gauge and your speedo, obviously. And also a gear indicator. Huh, look at that, look at that. They put the juice on you. Hey. I think it might be out of fuel. Because the juice light just went from 1 to 0. Just make sure the fuel's on. I think it's on reserve now.
Yeah, it must be on reserve.
Oké, toch nog goed?
Ja.
Oh. Where's Jaku? Stand.
Ach, fuck.
You think it's a stand?
The stand up.
Really?
Call me, don't call you, I'll call me.
There we have it, boys. Okay, well, there you have it, guys. You can't start it with the stand down. So if you put the stand down, will it turn off now?
Put that on cam.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Listen to Papa Veta. That's crazy. So even in neutral?
Yeah.
Hey. Okay.
That's one crazy super light.
Yeah. You see. Look at that. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's your startup video. Thank you, Tani Shelley. Thank you, Veta. Yeah. No, super awesome. Shoppers, thank you very much, Mr. Shelf. No, now you know. You cannot start a big boy super light with kickstand down. I mean, yeah. Now, let me just explain momentarily, briefly. Most of the bikes, they will start in neutral with the kickstand down. However, if you kick it into gear, then the bike will cut off. But the fact that it won't even start with the kickstand down like that blows me away. Like, how are you supposed to start and let your bike warm up, bro? You just have to sit there and wait. You can't, start the bike in the morning, go have some more coffee, get a little bit warm, or the bike gets a little bit warm, and then get on the bike and go. No, you have to sit there and brave the pain. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I suppose I don't want to say to you guys, you don't have to warm up these motors, but you know what, guys, I always, at least for 2 minutes, just let the bike warm up. Let that oil run through that motor. Just give it some time, let it warm up. Even though you can't put it on the kickstand, just sit there, wait patiently. So yeah, guys, that's it from me today. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. It was a pretty weird one to end off with, I must say. Never experienced that before in my life. In fact, when I got my first bike ever, I thought I had broken it because I was I had the kickstand down and I was trying to start it with the clutch in neutral, and it still wouldn't start, even with the clutch in. Sorry, with the clutch in first gear. So yeah, it still wouldn't start. I thought I broke my bike, so yeah. At least now you guys know for future reference. Guys, that's it from me today. If you have any sort of questions, just drop them down there in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But yeah, that's it from me today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys all in the next episode. Peace.